The Colorado Buffaloes have reached a crossroads, a look in the mirror, a scary moment for the program. We are having a venting session. Let it all out in the comments. Whatever you got to say, air it out now. Let's go.
Buff Nation.
Let's vent.
Squad.
Welcome in to the DNVR Buffs postgame show, represented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. Colorado loses to Houston. I got the final score somewhere. I don't know.
36-20.
That is one of the worst performances of the Coach Primera.
Yeah, it's deeper than that, though.
It is. There's a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, there is. And I think this is actually a good place to start because Scotty came in and he said, is that the worst loss of the Coach Primera?
Yeah, I wanted your thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I said no. And the reason why it's no is worse than the reason being yes.
Yeah.
And the reason is because this is not a good football team right now. And that is much worse than losing and having a really bad loss.
Yeah.
Because this team's in trouble if they don't figure out who they are, what they do, what they're about, and what they can hang their hat on moving forward. Right now, this team has zero things that you can say, okay, well, at least they could lean on that.
Yeah.
You could maybe say the secondary, but they didn't have a good game.
I wouldn't say that.
But like, I don't know. I mean, if I'm trying to figure out something,
for sure,
I might say they have,
You know what? They can run the football pretty well.
Sometimes.
Of all the things.
And that will be brought up in a different discussion, probably in the second segment, maybe tonight or maybe in the first. But they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble because they don't have an identity right now. And that team that just beat them, I don't believe is all that good still.
No,
I think,
still don't believe that.
Yeah, I think like I said before the game that they can't score if you stop the run. Well, they didn't even come close to stopping the run. It wasn't even – there was no moment in the game where it looked like they were going to be able to stop the run. They ended up giving over 200 yards on the ground.
They gave up 230 yards on the ground while averaging 3.9 yards per carry. They let Houston run the ball 53 times.
Yeah, because they didn't have to do anything else.
That's crazy.
You run the ball three times at 4 yards per carry, you move the chains. And they just they get to 4th and 1, and they just easily sneak the ball for a first down. So, yeah, it's not the worst loss because the team is in trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble.
I think the worst part about it is there wasn't much of a fight with this team.
They showed up completely lifeless.
Completely lifeless from the opening kickoff.
Yeah.
And this was Houston's first time having 400 total yards of offense in 22 games. That's damn near 2.5 seasons of football.
That was the longest running streak in the FBS, too.
I mean, and we talk about it all week. This was not an offense that should ever put up 36 points on you or over 430 total yards of offense on you.
Yeah. You keep going.
And this Colorado offense is to blame for some of those struggles defensively. Totally. Colorado.
They had at least 5 or 6 3-and-outs tonight.
Colorado
unacceptable.
Colorado ran 5 offensive plays in the third quarter, bro. 5 plays in the third quarter for 0 yards.
They had 1 minute or 2 minutes and 5 seconds of possession in that third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, RC and I are just sitting up there, and our guy Nick and Dion are just sitting out there being like,
Dion.
He's going to cook your ass, bro. I don't want to see that, boy.
We're just saying, like, how can you put the defense out there again? They're screwed.
After a 17-play drive by Houston, Colorado went 3-and-out, and they're back on the field.
That can't happen.
It can't happen. And that was the biggest thing Ryan Staub said after the game in terms of what he thought, what went wrong offensively. He was like the third down offense, the third down efficiency. They were 4 for 14 on third down tonight, 28%. That's not going to get it done by any means. And there was outside of the 2 drives right before the half. And this is another thing, too. I mean, I look at both of those drives, especially the one from Stauber right before the half. Like, those are him creating plays.
Yeah.
This is another game. Afterwards, we're talking about this offense was not schemed up with layups.
Nope.
No.
There were no receivers running wide open. There was no misdirection that led to
jumpers all night.
There was just none of that. Everything had to be hard earned or gotten off the script. And when that runs out, this is what you're left with. You're left with an abysmal offensive showing in the Big 12 opener, coming off a game against Delaware where you should ideally have some confidence.
Definitely.
And it's just frustrating. There's, like I said at the top, there was really no fight with this team. There's no identity with this team at the moment. And I got to stand on what I said. I didn't think Houston was a very good football team. So what do I have to do? What do I have to say about that now? I don't think Colorado, like you said, they're just not a good football team right now. That's just point blank. There's too many shuffling, I think, with multiple positions all over the field. And that's just not how you gain consistency on either side of the ball.
I think you could tell a lot about an offense and where they are in terms of creativity and knowing who their players are, who their go-to guys are. To steal Robert Livingston's phrase, to get your shooters, right? Mm-hmm. The guys that you want to get shots up for. I think you can tell a lot about that on 2-point conversion plays. When you see, those are the plays that are usually practiced the most.
Yeah.
Because those are we need 2 yards.
Layups.
This is it. This is what we do. This is what we're going to do in these situations. And Colorado ran good old PA rollout right.
And was it PA?
I think maybe not. Maybe it was just rollout right.
Yeah.
Just everyone run right.
One of my least favorite plays.
Terrible. You cut off more than half the field on that play. That was your 2-point conversion play. There was no creativity. No rhyme or reason in the play calling. No rhythm. It was embarrassing. Again, at least I stopped counting at 5 or 6 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
I don't know what they ended up at.
I really wish I could have come on here and be like, man, Houston was way better than I thought.
Nope.
I knew the defense was like that. I picked us to score 20 points. We scored 20. I didn't walk away being like, wow, Houston's offense is way better than I thought. They were scheming it up, and they were explosive, and they were no, man. Nope. Colorado's defense was hapless. Just searching for answers out there. They actually found one at one point, which was pressuring Connor Wegman.
Yep, just send in the house.
Yes. The problem was they couldn't get him in situations where he had to drop back.
Well, they couldn't even finish tackles when they got back in the backfield, too.
Yeah.
They were terrible tackling tonight. I know after Georgia Tech, we were like, look, they tackled pretty well. They were in position. They just got ran through a few times, but that was terrible tackling.
The fundamentals, bro. We're at an all-time low today. You said what?
Nothing. Don't worry
about it. The fundamentals are just at an all-time low tonight. You're talking about tackling, blocking, throwing the football accurately, catching the football. There were too many drops tonight. Couple in key situations on third down. That's just this kind of stuff that comes down to execution, but it also comes down to coaching throughout the week when we're talking about fundamentals.
Yeah.
Stuff that Pee Wee football teams should be able to do consistently. Throw the football accurately, catch the football, tackle, block. Those are all glaring issues tonight. And, Coach Prime in his post-game presser was, to use his words quite literally, he said he's at a loss for words. He said no one could have told him the game was going to turn out the way it did tonight. And that's ultimately falls on him, the rest of his staff, because this didn't look like a prepared football team tonight.
No.
It just didn't. And that's how you lose by 2 scores in a Big 12 opener, game that you should be getting up for in embarrassing fashion, to be frank.
This has to be a game breaker for Coach Prime and
turning point moment.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have him calling plays for you next week against Wyoming.
I don't either. I'm going to ask a really existential question. Does this team believe?
I don't think so. I don't think they believe in the offensive coordinator. I don't think that they believe that they're getting the best players on the field.
Yep.
I don't think that some stuff was taken seriously all year, all offseason.
I don't think they do either. And I you know, as we're in Texas, I think back to the TCU game in like the aura and just the style and the grit and the desire that team played with.
Yeah.
This team had not an ounce of that out there tonight. And that team believed, man. When Coach Prime led them out onto the field in Fort Worth that day with that speech about how we have now.
Didn't even need to finish the speech.
The game was over before it even started.
Yep.
Because that team was so bought into everything they were doing. And it's scary, man. What I saw out there tonight looked eerily familiar to me, and I never want to say that.
Even the sideline.
I've seen that before, and I don't ever want to see it again. And so I think we're going to get into quarterback probably in the second segment, but I think the quarterback is a microcosm of what's going on with the football team right now, which is kind of we're just pushing buttons to see what will happen. And I think because of that, that's why the team doesn't believe, because I don't think that they know exactly what direction they're going in.
You would know as a player. You'd know, all right, we ran this play 50 times in practice. Like, this is probably going to be something we rely on a lot. And honestly, even just watching well-off stuff, I'm going to be a well-off wizard here. There's so much stuff I saw this offseason that I have not even seen on the football field. That's crazy to me. They literally wasted time practicing plays this offseason that they're just not running out there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say right now. I'm not going to lie.
You and Coach Prime both?
Seems like we just have the same conversations after games this year, which is really unfortunate.
Something has to happen.
I think so too. And there's, you know, like, there's been times where I was really ready to point fingers after a football game. You could point it anywhere and you'd be right tonight.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know? And that's, again, that feels worse than just being able to say, like, this is on Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur did not have a good night.
No.
Robert Livingston did not have a good night. Coach Prime did not have a good night. Ryan Staub did not have a good night. None of the receivers had a good night. I mean, Simeon Price had a decent night.
Yeah, he did.
Well, all the stuff you're
Alexander
saying.
McPherson had a hell of a night.
Tawfiq Bayard.
Absolutely.
Tawfiq Bayard, yeah. But there is a lot of places where you could point that finger tonight, and that's the problem. I wish I had one person I could point the finger at.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier than trying to talk through this right now. Because, like I said, Coach Prime, go check out takeaways from the presser on the DNVR Sports YouTube. But he was he showed some emotion after a loss that I don't think I've seen him show. And I think that kind of speaks to the level of seriousness that this struggle with this program is at right now. This just feels different, doesn't it? Doesn't this loss feel different than week one, or obviously I think any loss last year aside from maybe the Nebraska game? But
ask your question that you asked me right after the game. That you asked him. The first thing you asked him.
I think you mentioned it at the top of the show. But is this the worst loss of the Coach Prime era? That's the question that popped in my mind.
In terms of actual on the field play, there were some worse losses. But in terms of like team morale after the game, I don't know how it gets much worse than this. Even the Oregon game, it's like, shit, we didn't have Travis out there. Like, at least we'll get him back in a couple weeks. Even after Stanford, it's like, well, we still have the rest of the season. We can still try and get bowl eligible. I mean, Kansas, that was pretty damning. That was pretty rough. But this one is, it's September 12th. And you're a rudderless ship floating in the ocean. No flag that you can say this is who we are.
Yep.
No captain at the helm who's taking, responsibility for what's going on from the crewmates. Like, guys are, running around doing whatever they want, smiling on the sideline when they're not in the game.
That's what I was starting to say earlier. The sideline stuff is
there was no
concerning.
life on that sideline.
No, there was not.
Zero.
A lot of dudes checked out even before that game really, got out of hand, and that's unfortunate.
Let's take our first break.
Then we talk quarterback.
And we'll talk quarterback. Shout out to our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. We're going to need a lot of Breck brews after this one, man. Shout out to all of those who came out to the DNVR bar and painfully hung out for this game. I'm sure they had quite a few Breck brews to.
I wonder who won some tickets to the Arizona State game.
Yeah,
Though.
I don't know. Lindsay sent me some videos from in there. It was a late arriving crowd because it's 5:30 start in Colorado.
Right.
But once people got in there and the offense woke up for a quarter, they were having fun. So shout out to them.
Hell yeah. My favorite is the Mountain Beach Sour. You can try the Fun Slinger, Broncos Country Pale Ale, Mile High City, Avalanche Amber, all that good stuff. They have so many great beers. Come try them at the DNVR bar, at a DNVR Buffs or Broncos tailgates, or just wherever they sell beer, really. If you check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com, you can find a Breck Brew near you. Shout out to the OG homies, Breck Brew, man. Squad.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell, where I think I will be heading at the conclusion of this post-game show, unless someone wants to hit me with a DM about a local late-night food spot.
Y'all delivered this weekend, by the way.
I know. That's why I'm like, I got to let the Houstonians stay hot. But I'll have no problem going to Taco Bell, I'll tell you that. I love me some late-night Taco Bell, and it's the best. Unfortunately, they don't have the Buffs box here, but they do have the Decades menu live here in Houston. We're throwing it back to Y2K. If you were around back then, which I don't know if everyone in this room was, but you'll remember the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco, the Caramel Apple Empanada, the Chili Cheese Burrito, the 7-layer burrito, and, of course, the Double-Decker Taco, which sounds real good right now. And all of those things are for $3 or less. We're throwing it back to the prices as well. It's a beautiful thing. So hit up our friends over at Taco Bell. And Taco Bell is, of course, donating to the Colorado Buffalo Scholarship Fund, $1,000 for every touchdown, which we'll hit that in a second.
All right. Quarterback?
Yeah.
Who wants to start this one?
I'll start it off. I mean,
what do you think? I'm very interested to hear what you think about this. What do you do for Wyoming next weekend?
Well, first let's talk about tonight a little bit, and then we'll get into that.
We'll finish the segment with what do we do moving forward.
I mean, Ryan Staub wasn't good tonight, aside from maybe 2 drives right before the half, where he ad-libbed a couple plays and, put together 2 touchdown drives. The 2 interceptions obviously can't happen, but I feel like both of those were at the end of the game when the game was
he's just trying shit. He's literally just throwing it up.
That's exactly right. But, I mean, he wasn't good tonight, but it's 3 weeks in a row where I think the whole fan base is displeased with the quarterback situation, right? And whether it was Caden Salter, whether it was Julian Lewis in very, very limited reps and opportunities against Delaware, or Ryan Staub tonight, people have just been disappointed, rightfully so, with the quarterback play through 3 weeks. And that's a damn shame, obviously coming off of 2 years of the quarterback play that we saw here at Colorado, which was at a very high level week in and week out. And I just don't – I really don't know how to – I do know how to reckon with that. We're talking about the same things week in and week out. We're talking about this team not having an offensive identity. That falls on the offensive coordinator. That falls on the guy who's calling plays, who's designing the game plan week in and week out.
Designing the offense from January till
it doesn't make sense. And I think at a certain point, Coach Prime has to do something. He has to use his head coach powers and fix what's obviously wrong with this football team offensively. There's an issue with the coordinator. There's an issue with the guy calling plays offensively. And there's a lot of execution issues. Like I said, the quarterback didn't play well. There were drop passes tonight. I don't think the offensive line played well, aside from maybe the Simeon Price 38-yard touchdown. We saw a lot of Andre Roy at right tackle today, who I don't think played much at all through the first 2 weeks of the season, the Maryland transfer. So there was some mix matching on the offensive line, which typically doesn't go well either. But I thought Ryan Staub deserved the opportunity to start today. And he obviously – I don't think he earned an opportunity to start next week. And I don't know how Prime's going to go about it, because he said he doesn't want to play musical chairs. Are you going to have are you going to go back to Caden? Right?
You just need to find something now, though.
That's a tough situation to be in. And but again, this is no matter if it's been Caden Salter or Julian Lewis in very, very, very limited reps, or Ryan Staub tonight, there are issues with this offense, schematically, execution-wise, and ultimately that falls on coaching. Ultimately, the players are out there. They're the ones blocking and running and throwing the football and whatnot. But Monday through Thursday in this week's case, or Monday through Friday, that's when the coaches got to earn their keep.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's been happening with this staff here recently. And the results speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? We all, like to use Coach Prime, we all saw what we all saw there tonight. And it wasn't pretty against a team that I don't think any of us, except maybe Jake, thinks is very good.
Try to tell y'all.
You really told us yesterday.
We'll get to that later. Hey, we'll get to that later. Go ahead, Arthur.
What were the two best plays last week?
The Staub shot, both shots to Sincere probably.
Yeah.
Actually, the JoJo Williams catch is up there too.
How did those happen?
Staub improvising.
Audible.
Yes. What were the best plays tonight?
Simeon Price running right up the middle. And
how about from the quarterback?
Touchdown
Well,
or off
scramble.
script? That's what I'm talking about.
Off script.
Same
When
with
he
week
ran.
1.
Yes.
Both of Caden's touchdowns were off script. Him creating.
Which-
the best plays tonight were off script. The quarterback creating.
Yes. Who's the best quarterback on this team about going off script and using, improvising?
I don't know.
It's Caden. And that is such a big problem that I'm just like, start the guy who can just pull some shit out of his hat.
I don't think he wants to play anymore.
Yes, he does. That's the quarterback you have to play because the scheme is not doing these guys any favors. And so, it wouldn't have been the difference tonight. Let me just say that.
No, I mean, let me say that too. Anybody thinking that a different quarterback out there tonight would have resulted in a different result, I don't think that's right.
You never know what happens. Maybe you score on the opening drive. It changes the face of the game. You get a pick six on the next play, or a fumble. Anything can happen in a game. But the problems with this team aren't the quarterback. And Staub wasn't good tonight, but I don't think that was going to change things. That being said, the fact that we're doing this in week 4 is a big problem in itself.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
Like there's a reason we were kind of all hopeful and polling for Ryan Staub to go out there and just like take the reins tonight and take this starting job, because we are in a worse place now than we were before the Delaware game as it relates to quarterback. Mm-hmm. Now you're potentially going back to the drawing board, heading into your with a quarter of the season already in the past.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'd love to see Juju, but my worry is not for Juju. My worry is for the offensive staff putting Juju in a position to succeed. Whereas if you put Caden out there, I just know he's going to be able to dance around. Hopefully they get a little better at scramble drill. He can throw the ball down the field, or he can take off with his legs, man. Yeah. This is like you said, Scotty, I think you said it best. Like, the offense is not doing favors to these guys. There's no
any of the quarterbacks.
No layups. No, I mean, you just watch, like, where's, like, quarterback power with Caden over the first 2 weeks? You just watch Wegman do it anytime they wanted.
He ran that like 100 times at Liberty.
Yes.
He ran speed option so much at Liberty.
Speed option killed us tonight.
Why can't we
do we ever watch what the other teams do to us and say, could we potentially do that?
Do we have more than 5 plays offensively?
Yeah, man. It's thankfully the bubble screen percentage went down tonight.
Did it?
It was looking tough early on the first couple of drives.
It really was.
I mean, how many do you think we threw? I think it was only 2 or 3.
I would say like 4.
Okay,
but I mean,
that's
still,
too many.
It's still relatively. I mean, yeah.
This is a problem, man, and you cannot be going into week 4 not knowing who your quarterback is. Yeah. And maybe in the next segment we can talk a little bit more about what Coach Prime said after the game, but like, I need him to have the answers.
Yep.
And he doesn't have to know who's going to start a quarterback next week right now.
Sure. Right.
But like, that's like, this team I think is going to remain, like you said, Jake, rudderless until they just pick a direction and go in it. And I think they were trying to do that tonight, unfortunately, and it is not the right direction.
No. Look, Staub didn't play great tonight. I got to give him credit, though, for at least playing his ass off and trying out there. Like, it wasn't pretty a lot of the time, but that dude laid it on the line tonight. I mean, the run at the end of this first half says all you need to know about Ryan Staub right there.
That was awesome.
And
again, it's not his fault tonight.
No, and that's exactly what I wanted to start that with, because, like, all the advanced stats and the PFF stuff's going to come out eventually, and everyone's going to see the average depth of target that Ryan Staub had, and he probably helped himself out with that when it came to those last
at the end there,
game.
yeah.
It must have been like 3 yards, honestly, before we got to the end of the game. And
he started the game off 0 for 5 on passes 10-plus yards down the field.
Yep.
Got a couple late, but...
And like you said, a lot of drops, too. Like, again,
yeah, a lot. Like
a lot of
I
what
remember at
happened
least
out there
4 drops.
was not
Straight
his
drops.
fault. Where he was targeting the field was not his fault. There was nothing. They didn't even try downfield, bro.
Yeah. I mean, they tried one to Omarion on the sideline that I was on, opposite sideline of you guys, and he just sailed it.
I mean,
10 yards out of bounds.
They ran the ball pretty well tonight, and I know
12 carries for running backs.
I know they were in some good down and distances where they could have afforded to just go, you know what, 4 verts.
Yes.
Throw one up. Let's see. They obviously did it towards the end of the game when Staub just threw it down the middle of the field to JoJo.
Yep.
Right.
Why are you waiting that long, bro? You were down by like 13-0 in the first quarter, and no one called anything aggressive. It was just, all right, bubble screens. Let's run it up the middle. Let's try and do a little rollout here. Maybe we'll get Zach underneath everyone. Like, it's all just around the line of scrimmage. There is no creativity, lethality with this. No one is scared of this offense. Who's scared of this offense?
They don't even, yeah.
CSU could be next on the schedule. They would not be scared of this offense. They feel
What
great.
offense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what the offense is. What was the game plan tonight? What did they think that they were going to have that they were trying to expose?
I asked Coach Prime about the plan, and I kind of framed it up a way where I'm like, listen, Coach, y'all got a lot of talent at receiver. We like the running back room. The offensive line is improved. What's kept you guys from finding an offensive identity, finding offensive consistency through 3 weeks, which is, like you said, a quarter of the season?
Yeah.
And he goes, that's a fantastic question. And I think he says that it's like that's something he doesn't really know the answer to right now because it doesn't make sense. And that's why I fall on coaching. Execution matters, but this is a straight up talented football team.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this team lines up in the park against Houston, and the first 15 guys picked are Colorado guys, probably.
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro. And this is, like I said, this is a straight up talented football team, and the results are not indicative of that. So what do you point to, right? We're 3 weeks now, post game, talking about the quarterback, whoever it is, struggling. What's the common denominator here? It was Caden Salter was the scapegoat in week 1. He might have even been in week 2. Now it's Ryan Staub. Now he's the new scapegoat for a lot of people out there. But what's the common denominator here through 3 weeks in terms of these offensive struggles?
The offense.
The play caller. The scheme.
And, like,
the identity.
Yeah.
All facts.
And if you were going to go, and like, I'm going backwards now, but, like, if you were going to go with Caden as your starting quarterback, you needed to lean so heavily into who Caden is.
Of course.
And we never saw that. Through a game in a quarter or whatever it was, we never saw, like, what they were spamming at Liberty.
Well, that's what I said after week 1, right? Players, not plays.
Yes.
How do you highlight your players the best you can? And sometimes it's just as easy as going back and watching their previous school, high school, college, whatever it is, seeing what they did well and going, all right, copy-paste almost.
I also feel like teams watch what other teams are doing around the country.
Totally.
Watch what teams are doing to them.
Yes.
Take that stuff and move it forward. I mean, what Houston did tonight looked a lot like what Georgia Tech did.
That's where I was going to say,
Colorado.
bro.
You know why? Because they watched what Georgia Tech did to Colorado, and then they did it. And it's we've said all week that we felt for Caden, and like now I even feel worse for Caden.
I can't imagine what was going through his mind on that sideline watching that all unfold today.
Yeah, sheesh.
I can imagine, though, actually. I can't imagine.
I actually got to give
What's he thinking?
Caden some credit.
Hell yeah.
Because they were yelling from the stands behind the bench, like,
Put in Salter.
Put in Caden. And he was like, stop. Like, because like he's standing right next to Staub.
Right.
He's like, you're not helping. Like, you're not helping, which I thought was a pretty big move from him.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess on the other side, too, like defensively, like we talk about this as a possibility after last week. It's on tape. The quarterback run, Colorado has not shown the ability to stop it.
For 3 years.
Haynes King did his damn thing in week 1. Nick Minicucci did more than he should have in week 2 on the ground. Connor Wigman set a career high in rushing yards today.
He had his longest rush of his
high,
career.
bro.
Longest rush of his career today, too.
I mean,
Record-breaking day for Connor Wigman.
He took a pair of ankles with him as well.
Yeah, he did.
oh, Lord Jesus.
He almost ran through the entire defense in the first quarter, too, just with speed.
Lord Jesus.
We'll answer the other quarterback questions on the other side of this break. Shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Can't wait to get back to Colorado now. Shout out to Houston, though. But when I get back to Colorado, might be time to start looking into a new car at some point because the old one just ain't holding up. And I need a durable, I need a reliable, versatile car out there in Colorado to just go up and do everything the state has to offer. They've got the all-new 2024 Tacoma, the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser, and they also have 17 other models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They also have 16 different hybrid vehicles if that is what you were looking for as well. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corbin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Shout out to our squad, our good friends over at Bet365, man. If you had a tough night on the books,
You're not alone.
you're not alone. And Bet365 is offering you a great opportunity to get back on that horse, especially with this early payout offer, right? This applies for the NFL and college football this weekend, a big slate for both leagues. You're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points. Instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections. They're marked as winners. Download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Again, this is the NFL and college football, and this is dope because new customers now get $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets. Again, if your bet wins or even if it loses, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. So whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Shout out to Bet365.
A couple things I got to hit really quick, Jake. Sorry.
Go for it.
One, Neely's not ducking smoke. He traveled with the team. They leave right after the game.
Right.
We're going to try and get him on in the fourth segment. Second, I want to say this before the Houston fans who are hate watching this get bored and leave. I love this place.
Y'all are
Houston's the best.
incredible.
No, Houston is really dope. And the people were awesome to us, even on social media. Even like, there's always people who are seating. Yeah, I would do the same thing. People talking shit to me in RC as we're walking through the stadium coming over here. I'm like, yeah, I would do the same thing. Right, they're like, belt to ass. I'm like, yep.
You won?
You're right. Good job. Like, you get to do this. I would do the same thing. But regardless of all that, the people sitting around us were great. There's like this little kid who was like talking smack to me. I'm like, remind me of a young me.
That's hilarious.
But the hospitality of the Buffs fans out here, the hospitality of the Houston fans out here, everyone was really cool. And I have zero bad things to say.
Totally, man. I think this is my favorite road trip I've ever been on with DNVR, honestly. And it's because of the way we were treated, the way that everyone took care of us. It was just amazing, man. I don't think we've been treated like that on a road trip since I've been here, honestly. All right.
Told you I was looking forward to Houston.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, you were
on it, man.
I can't wait to get back, man. People, they really showed out, man, from the food. I mean, literally, bro, last night was like an all-time night.
It was.
It really truly was.
It really was.
Houston always going to have a...
Some people tried to talk us out of it.
And we're pissed at them right now for it.
We haven't even left yet, and I can't wait till I come back.
Yeah.
Swear.
We got it tomorrow, though.
We do have a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Staub is. I actually don't know if many people are actually going to scapegoat him for this. I think a lot of people understand what the problem is, but
What? Boy, that boy's going to get scapegoated.
Yeah. I've been on social.
Currently is.
Yeah.
It's currently happening.
Actually, we're getting scapegoated for believing in him.
Sure am.
That's our fault.
our fault.
Yeah, sorry
Sure
about
am.
that, guys. We'll try harder out there next time.
Let me call the plays. I'm up here. I can see myself being a little puppet master from up here.
What do we do for Wyoming? Who starts?
I mean, so there's a couple schools of thought here. One is you say, like, we made our bed, we're going with Staub. We're giving him another chance.
Okay.
Another one is, like, next, Juju, you're up. And the other one is go back to a guy in Caden Salter who, and again, I'm speaking for me, I'm not speaking for Caden, probably doesn't have the most faith in what's going on here right now.
Totally. And I completely understand that.
But if you do that, you got to have like a man-to-man, we are sorry. We screwed up. We need you. Let's put the past in the past and go win some football games together. Because I, again, speaking for myself, not for Caden Salter, I just feel like the knee-jerk reaction would be like, oh, now you need me, you know? Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't blame him for that. So I don't know what you do. And I want my gut wants to be like, let's see what Juju's got. Like, there's a lot, I don't know, there feels like a lot less to lose this season.
Of course
after this game. And I like the idea of Juju getting out there, but the logic in me says, like, I don't trust the offensive coaching staff to put Juju in a position to succeed right now.
Totally. Arizona just beat Kansas State, by the way.
Told y'all.
Hey.
I was on the island on that one, wasn't I?
You were.
When you think it's bad,
It could always be worse.
it can always be worse.
Wow. Arizona might be
You want
back,
to talk
though.
about a look yourself in the mirror moment?
Yes, for real.
You're 1-3 with your one win being one you pulled out of your ass against
North Dakota.
North Dakota?
Yeah, this is
Not even state.
Not even state. North Dakota.
This is Arizona's biggest win in the last season in 3 games, honestly.
At least I don't know if it is worse though, because Kansas State's still 0-0 in the conference.
Which is insane.
That is what played.
That's not true. They lost to Iowa State.
Oh, you're right. 0-1. Join us.
I was asked in the presser by somebody in the room, like, so who's next?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my initial reaction was, well, the guy who hasn't gotten a start yet. Right? That was my initial reaction. Like, and I might feel different on Tuesday or this week. That's kind of where I'm at, especially at home in what some might look at Wyoming as a vacuum game, potentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems like
we're back there again. You got to figure something out next weekend.
You said it in Delaware. You said we're going to be back here again for Wyoming, and you know, this might be a good opportunity
to clean up the fucking mess we just made.
You need a lot of vacuums, yeah.
This might be a good opportunity for Juju to get his first start. Again, at home against Wyoming, but I don't dismiss the school of thought with, hey, Caden, you or I got out the gate. We tried to do something different. That didn't work out. That's our bad. But let's, like you said, I think that's what it would kind of have to take. Like, you're gonna have to sit down and put some pride to the side, and you know, and let him and make sure that he is fully locked in with this team after what could have easily been something that really turned him off from this team and this coaching staff in particular. So I think either way, it's going to be Juju or Caden next week. I don't know who it's going to be. Coach Prime doesn't know who it's going to be. He was asked about the quarterback plan for next week, and he said he has no idea right now. He said he's not thinking about that. He said he's thinking about what transpired tonight. It's too early to be thinking about next week, and yeah, I mean, we'll see. Next week is going to be this whole next week is going to be interesting, but You know, even if you do go out and handle business next week, I think the only thing that matters is hopefully feeling good about a quarterback coming out of it. I mean, that's the biggest thing you can ask for coming out of Wyoming, which is a far cry from where we thought we would be going into the Wyoming game, you know?
Yeah.
I think it depends on who's the offensive coordinator. I think if Pat Shurmur's still calling plays, might as well just be Staub or Juju. If they actually make a move and they're actually going to highlight the player's strengths, put Caden Salter in the football game and let's run the football 53 times or whatever the hell Houston did tonight. That should be their identity. If they do let go of Pat ahead of time, then, I mean, put Juju in. You're getting to the point where you're going to risk him transferring potentially. And you're going to have to protect yourself from that and just kind of say, you know what, this is a lost year. We had to fire the OC. We didn't know what we were doing at quarterback till week 4. And we're just going to let the freshman ride it out, get himself ready for next year. That's where I'm at.
I mean, that's by far the most fun option.
Totally, I agree with you.
At the same time, though, like, just you saying that out loud made me kind of realize, like, if you did make a move at OC and then decided to go back to Caden, it does kind of feel like a fresh start.
Yeah.
You know, for Caden, too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, it wasn't working with him, and now we got this guy, and he loves you, and he wants to run this offense with you.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of a way to, like, ignite something new in Caden and in this offense.
Totally.
Somebody says, you guys did contribute to the confusion. There was no rational reason to pull Salter out of the Delaware game. Now, how the hell do we contribute to him getting pulled out of the Delaware
That's
game?
my bad. I yelled from the sideline.
How the hell do we contribute to that?
I'll put my hand up. My fault, guys.
That's ridiculous, man.
I just decided the team needed a spark. You know, I didn't like what we were seeing against Georgia Tech, and I just decided, you know what, we got to give the other guy a shot. So I'll be better moving forward. I take full accountability, and you have my word on that.
Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome. Chat, do you feel better next week, by the way?
No.
And again, this is getting
What
brought
else
up.
you guys want to talk about?
Well, look, this is getting brought up in the chat again, and I don't want to turn a blind eye to this either because the defense did get ran all over, and this team clearly has an issue in defending the quarterback run. It's not even a question anymore. They can't defend it at all. And I think part of the issue is and I've been saying this since the get-go too, part of the issue is you can't stay on the field on offense.
Exactly, dude.
Again, there's 5 or 6 3-and-outs. There's one drive in the game where you go for it on 4th down, you get it, and then the very next series you still have to go for it on 4th down. Like, it's technically not a 3-and-out or whatever, but it's looked pretty much the same. So that does not help out this defense. Like we talked about in the third quarter, the defense was on the field for 12 minutes of that third quarter after they just got totally ran all over in the first half. You come out at halftime, your offense gets the ball, you're feeling good about, all right, now we finally, we can build something here, start of the second half. Nope, 3-and-out punt. And then the defense is just on the field because there's another 3-and-out punt as soon as Houston scores again.
I feel like the word drive starter is not
what that mean?
Comprehended.
What that mean?
Like, when you are struggling like this, just like what you... I don't know why I'm thinking about TCU. Do you remember after the TCU game I was talking about the money plays?
Yeah.
They had that man beater to Jimmy Horn where he sprints in and then sprints out.
Yep.
And they just knew, like, if we really need one, we can go to this. And they did it on big downs. And they, that you talk about the 2-point conversion, like that's a money play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have stuff that you're like, if we get the right look, we know this is going to work. And when you're having 3-and-outs as a disease in your offense, you got to have a money play that says, like, okay, we're really confident if we get the right look here, this is a first down.
Right.
And maybe they think they have those, but they sure as hell do not. And that, it just can't happen like you're talking about, where, like, you go through the whole third quarter and you just didn't have one thing pop, one thing work the way that you thought it could or might. I'm going to give half credit. I think the play to Michael Welch was actually designed where Staub rolled out and he threw like a long.
I don't see it that way. I think that was another ad lib by Staub.
It might have been. The only reason why I think it might have been designed is because if you look at the routes run by the receivers, it basically just looks like they're running Hail Mary. Like they were all just like jumbled up in the end zone. I'm like, I think it might have just been like a clear out and just try to sneak my guy. Regardless.
Isn't that what they called for DeKalen Taylor in the Ryan Staub touchdown last week?
I bet that was no, it wasn't the same play, but
it's close.
That's what it looked like because everyone was in the fucking end zone and then my DT's just staying.
But the fact that we can't decipher what that is a problem.
Yeah.
The fact that you're talking about 4 receivers all in the same area, like not looking like they have a purpose in their route,
Why are we talking
concept?
about mesh, spot,
Like,
smash? Like it's crazy. Spacing,
a damn shame.
curl flat, like 4 verts. This is this game is not hard, bro. This is really not a hard game. All the plays are the same. Everyone runs the same plays. They just look a little different.
A wise man, nicknamed the franchise, once said, people try to make football complicated.
I don't know what sometimes I feel like we're trying to make it too simple.
I don't even know what we're doing out there.
Again, I always talk about the flow of play calling. Play calling is writing a story. There's a rising action, a climax. There's a plan to everything you do. You do one thing to try to set up something else. And I'm sure if Pat Shurmur was in this room right now, he would say, I did do that. I tried this and that and the other.
I'm sure he would.
We're three quarterbacks cycled through.
Exactly.
At no point did it ever look like it was on rhythm.
Never.
You got 10 3-and-outs. I just did the math. You got 10 3-and-outs through 3 games. That's brutal.
It's very brutal. And how many of those were tonight?
6 or 7. Yeah.
I mean,
6, I think.
People, you guys hyped up Staub, blah, blah, blah. It's like, because I saw him just do some shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry for believing in a
Sorry
football
for
player.
watching the game, analyzing the game, and reacting to the game that we watched unfold.
We saw him get the receivers involved that are, this team has stacked receiver talent.
Yeah.
And, they were not on their game tonight, by the way. But we saw that. It's like, okay, here we go. Here's a little something. We're using vertical passing, which I don't know. I don't think we saw Caden Salter ever throw a designed 9 route.
Which is a damn shame because he's an excellent deep ball thrower.
Yes.
He did it a ton. Over a quarter of his pass attempts last year were deemed deep balls, 20-plus yards down the field. Over a quarter.
Yeah.
That's an offensive coordinator at Liberty the last couple of years who knows what the hell his quarterback skill set is and how to utilize it. It was a lot of QB run. It was a lot of deep shots. It was a lot of play action. And it seemed like, Pat Shurmur was just like, no, we're going to run my offense. We're going to run what I think works. And I don't know.
Jalen and everyone in the chat who keeps on pounding this point about Staub. Do you really think this would have been different if Caden Salter played the whole game?
That's what I said earlier, bro. It wouldn't have been, dog.
By the way, he's saying you guys saw this and you chose Staub. I know we're sitting in a place where coaches would sit.
Actually, this is the game.
Yeah, I know. But it kind of looks like we're in a coach's room here. We do not choose this stuff. Now, do we know a little something about what's going to happen in the game sometimes? Do we know what the coaches are thinking sometimes? Do we have some information once in a while? Yes. Do we talk about a guy because we know he's going to start? Sometimes. So, you're mad at the wrong people for that one.
Wow. Too many people in the chat are saying yes. Y'all are insane.
Does he play linebacker?
I don't know. Does he just take off every play? I mean, if he takes off every play, maybe they have a chance, but I don't know if he'd last that long.
Again,
60 plays just taking off.
It couldn't stop the run.
Again, there was no identity. There was no flow in the play calling. I have no idea what kind of offense this team runs. West Coast, pistol, triple option. Like,
there's no identity.
Literally, how would you describe what they try and play on when they have the football out there? Colorado.
And I think also, too, this is something Willie Fritz.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah. This is something Willie Fritz said this week when he was asked about, how do you game plan when you don't really know who the quarterback is? And he was like, well, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. They have an offense, and they run it. And it's Pat Shurmur's offense. And that's a damn shame when you can't differentiate the type of scheme and play calls based on 2 drastically different quarterbacks in Ryan Staub and Caden Salter. When those 2 guys are out in the field, the offense should look drastically different because they're drastically different players. 100%. But they don't.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
And again, we're talking about with Staub last week against Delaware. Like, The two best plays of the game, arguably, were Staub saying, "Yeah, I heard what you said, Coach Shermer, but we're gonna do this instead."
Yeah.
Those are arguably the two best offensive plays of the game last week.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
We're starting to go in circles on the offense.
We are. I think we run a spread offense.
I think so too, but I don't know.
And that's a damn shame for a team that all offseason been talking about running the football and using physicality and leaning on this offensive line and running backs.
I'd love to say power spread. We're not. I don't even think we have either of those at this point.
That'd be sick.
I think we just run like the good old spread.
There's a little bit of power element to this team. That's the only thing I can say they've shown through 3 weeks. They can run the football a little bit.
I'm actually going to stop addressing. Just blame us as much as you want. I won't go back to it.
Yeah, you know what, sure.
I don't care.
I'll try better next week, guys.
No, for real. Just if you think we had something to do with this, it's fine. I'm not going to look at it. Do we want to send that link to Unk?
I slacked you and Jake it.
Okay, well, real quick, let's do the tracker.
Oh, yeah. I need to update that.
Do you want me to give you some time? Well, you're live in case you guys didn't notice.
Squad.
A lot of people watching.
There are.
Heck yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Heck yeah.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button,
Hit
man.
the subscribe button. What'd you say? I mean, yeah, they scored 20 points.
Yep.
So, shout out to Taco Bell.
3 Gs.
And the touchdown track. Did we have 3? Oh, yeah, they went for 2 on 1. Mm-hmm. That's right. So, there were 3 touchdowns that the Buffs had tonight. That means Taco Bell is donating $3,000 to the CU Golden Buffalo Scholarship Fund. Our total count, do you have the total count yet, Alyssa? $19,000. Of course, they started off with $10,000, so shout out to them. And hopefully some changes happen so that total can go way up because they have the players on this football team to have Taco Bell donate a lot of money to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Fund if they can just have someone put those players in position to succeed. So,
well said.
I'm done talking about the play calling.
Yes. Someone said y'all could admit you're wrong. I will admit I was wrong.
I'm so wrong. Do you feel better
Hold
now?
on, stop. I was wrong about Houston not being able to score, but I was really wrong about Colorado's ability to stop them on defense. I was wrong about thinking Staub would look comfortable in the offense. He definitely did not look comfortable tonight.
Nope.
I was wrong about, I don't know, probably a bunch more things that aren't coming to my mind right now.
I was just wrong about how good I thought this Colorado football team was.
Yeah, just great one.
I thought that this defense would be a strength of this team. Through 3 weeks, it's been a weakness. I mean, the whole team has looked timid at times, undisciplined at times.
Yeah. They just looked like they didn't want to play tonight.
They didn't. They got pushed around.
They did.
They got pushed around by a team that ain't been pushing people around a lot in the last couple of years. And I was wrong about how good, like I said, I thought this Colorado football team, how good I thought this defense was, in particular this defensive line. This defensive line got pushed around, and Dean Connors ran all over him. And Connor Wigman snatched ankles and ran all over him. And, when you try to counter that with just bringing the house, that's when you take the top off if you're Houston. And there were too many of that tonight, too.
Hell of a
one-on-one coverage. I mean, Wigman just played well, straight up. He played good.
Comfortable.
He played good. But that's kind of what happens, I think, when you got a running game, when you can get some shots dialed up, some layups early on, and you know what you're seeing. You got a good plan offensively. The secondary as well didn't play well tonight. I would say except for Taufik Bayard. Preston didn't play well again, which is not ideal. DJ didn't play well tonight.
Carter didn't play well. He got hurt or something.
Carter did not play well either.
DJ didn't get a whole lot of opportunities, but
well, he kind of got benched before he left the game too.
Makari Vickers got an opportunity tonight, didn't make the most of it.
He got jobbed on that pass interference call, though.
Yeah,
that was awful. Agreed. By the way, did not impact the final score. The refs were a joke.
No, the worst call of the night was when they called the intentional grounding against Houston.
If I was the coach of Houston, you would have had to put me in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Because my quarterback's head was turned backwards?
Say, no shit, he missed. He didn't throw it near anyone. His head was facing the other way.
That's crazy.
I swear to you, literally would have had to hold me down.
But that was just, in my opinion, just a makeup call from that bullshit earlier in the quarter with that reviewed pass interference, which it clearly looked, again, I wasn't watching the TV copy because I'm up here in the booth, but it clearly looked like that receiver caught the ball past the line of scrimmage.
Yes. That was crazy, too.
And yeah, that definitely wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Indisputable evidence.
Exactly right. And that's what you need to overturn when it was called on the field, pass interference. To pick that flag up after a review, in my opinion, is crazy. So I think that was just a makeup call because, yeah, I agree with y'all. That other one was even more egregious.
Yeah. Super chats. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, hopefully we can get Unk.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have some time.
Who knows? He's like on the
these.
bus with the team, so
We got 52 of them, so we got it.
let's go. All right, strap in.
Shout out to Alex McPherson too. I know.
Shout out to Alan McPherson. Bro. Him and London Mira, man. Yep. Early in the game, third down, both on the field at the same time. Alex you see his confidence growing, dude. Week in and week out, he's a ball player, man.
And shout out Q for 6 as well. I know he only touched the ball in the kick return game, but he's got serious juice, man.
I believe those were his first kick returns this year, and he looked like he's going to break one sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Really quick, how many touches did DeKalen Taylor have tonight? That's going to piss me off.
2 rushes for 11 yards, 3
Sounds
catches.
like 5.5 yards per carry.
3 catches for 19 yards, and at least 2 of those catches were in garbage time in the fourth quarter where Staub was just dumping it to him.
Micah's stat line
What the hell is going on?
I don't get it with Micah in terms of his involvement.
What are they doing?
Like, that's your starting running back.
Yeah, he's a fucking sledgehammer. Just give him the ball and tell him to run straight. It's really not that hard.
Run behind 77.
I don't. Simeon Price, 10 yards a carry.
Shout out Simeon Price.
His first
such a baller.
Career rushing touchdown.
Hell yeah.
How was he not used more?
He's a pass catcher, too. Like, that's a complete running back right there.
He's sick.
He is, dude.
Bro, it's 12 designed runs for running backs. And they were getting kind of mauled early in the game when they were just trying to get a regular-ass run up the middle.
Yeah, how many times do we have to see Smalls coming across before you know they're running split zone? And he's kicking out the end.
I wish we could recognize that on defense when the tight end's coming across.
And this is another thing that kind of annoys me. And that question I asked the Coach Prime where he's like, about the identity, why they haven't been able to find an identity offensively, consistency. He was like, we want to run the football, but early on when you're getting stopped for, a tackle for a loss, and like, that sounds like Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur, that's how he would answer. I think that's literally how he has answered a question like that in the past. And it's like, if those two are thinking on the same page, that's not good because the results haven't been good. And there just has to be change, I think. There has to be change.
Let's hit these super chats.
Shout out Shador Sanders.
I think we're up to like 55 now.
Those guys made it look so easy.
But Shador took some sacks.
Because he was trying his best to make shit happen because nothing made sense down the field.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, Alyssa.
Okay, here we go. Crash Out or Cash Out with a $20 super chat said Salter is a good player who is getting screwed because the staff making decisions with their feelings like fans. I said the Staub scores last week were busted plays, not from QB play. Salter punished for playing within the system.
You're right. Next.
Hold on. I talked to someone today who made a really interesting point. Caden and Juju were in a quarterback competition throughout fall camp. Mm-hmm. And when you're in a quarterback competition, you just have to approach things a little bit differently. You're constantly trying to make sure you're doing what the coaches want you to do.
Right.
And so they're playing a little tight. Going into the Delaware game, like when you say Juju's going to play, to me that means like Juju's got a chance. So then both guys they're back in that competition mode. And this person was like, then Staub gets to come in and he has nothing to lose.
Yep. Right.
And he played like it. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he came out here tonight as a starter and he had something to lose again.
Right.
And he wasn't able to just be like that gunslinger, that he was in that Delaware game. And I think that was one thing that I didn't think about in the moment was like he got to come in with nothing to lose in that game, and that attitude certainly wasn't out there tonight.
True.
East Coast Kev says Coach Prime needs to swallow his pride and hire T-Cal from Buffton Prime. Everything in his scouting reports has been spot on.
Stop. Thank you for the super chat.
Pennies on the ground. $10 million a year to get blown out by Houston. Will you guys ever be critical of Coach Prime?
Next.
What was this show? It's not critical.
East Coast Kev, this is the third week in a row our defense allowed 400 yards. Both coordinators need the can.
No.
Next.
Warren G. When in the Coach Prime era has his staff outcoached the other team in a game?
TCU.
I can probably think of quite a few more.
I would hope so, because the first game being the only game would be kind of damning.
Trucking with Tony says we missed at least 20-plus tackles and left probably another 6 sacks out there. That's not winning football.
Fundamentals.
Super chat from Luke S. says Staub did miss multiple throws.
Definitely.
Yes, he did.
DJ.
The wide receivers dropped multiple passes.
Yep.
Showed it.
DJ says K-Salt needs to be QB1. They need to run the ball. CU offense is very predictable. Defense has to stop playing man coverage. It's killing them.
They're definitely not going to do that.
Something Preston talked about after the game today when he was asked about struggles against running quarterbacks. And he goes, well, you play a lot of man. And our eyes aren't in the backfield on the quarterback. So we got to trust our defensive line to stay in their lanes. And obviously when they don't do that, but you have situations like tonight or last week or the week before.
I don't really think the struggles are off-script quarterback runs.
No.
Like, that's like the cost of doing business when you're a man team. Those will happen.
I mean, the long
But that's
one,
definitely not the backbreakers.
You're right. I mean, the long one out the gate from Wegman going that way was just, I believe, a simple zone read. I believe Keaton Wade was on the edge, and he just
Keaton dove to make the tackle, and he missed it, and all of a sudden there's just an alley. He could have gone to the house, honestly.
Yeah.
So, as much as I understand the idea of when you play man, your back is going to be to the quarterback, and they're going to break some out, the problem is not off-script quarterback runs. The problem is on-script quarterback runs. When it's 11 on 11.
Sorry. Super chat from Alex says, Prime doesn't play the best players. He plays his favorite players. DVOXO says, coaching is the problem. Too predictable when you only line up primary in one formation all game, out-coach, and it's not even close. Embarrassing. Tony Montana with a super chat says, hashtag free 3, free K-Salt, free 4, free O Miller. Lamar1107 says, blaming the QB is a lowbrow. You can't give up 95 rushing yards in quarter 1 and 400-plus yards offense 3 games straight. Each QB we played, GT, Delaware, Houston, was trash. Chuck Jackson with the $20 super chat said, this was bad coaching. Ryan, not it. Got glazed for beating Delaware. Let's be real. Salt never turned over the ball and got benched after putting up 10 in 2 drives. Play the best people. It's not hard with no feelings attached.
Just a reminder that we always agreed with it being a really, really tough situation for Caden Salter. Like, I never felt like he did anything wrong to lose the job.
Yeah.
Crash Out or Cash Out says, Prime is
Except
playing favorites. Lied to us about Staub to take out Salter. Would have never done this to Shador because you don't play with QB psych. Certain people could have told you how to handle this game. Cornell.
Shador was also a lot better than any of the quarterbacks are right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was so clear who was the best quarterback when he was on the football team.
Cornell with the super chat.
I don't know if he ever had a bad game. Nebraska.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cornell with a super chat. Y'all wanted Staub so dang bad. SMH. CP needs to have accountability from timeouts to putting Staub in.
We'll do better. Thank you.
Big Tools. We were told all offseason this was a better team. Where are they better? I don't see it. Maybe receivers. How do you go back to K-Salt now?
Yeah.
Again, you have to fire Pat Shurmur. I don't know how would Caden trust Pat Shurmur?
Trust is a big word of the week. You're going to have to re-earn some trust.
Yeah.
Crash out or cash out again. If there is a lot to blame, then you blame the top.
Fair
Chris,
enough.
Okay, look, Coach Prime clearly has to be better. Like, is that not obvious?
Everyone has to be better.
Yeah, the team is 1-2. You don't know who your starting quarterback is. Yes, the head coach has to be better. We know.
Of course.
this.
When we're sitting up here talking about coaching being an issue, that involves the head coach. Like, I don't think that is a secret. Like, that's what we're talking about. The coaches on this staff, all of them need to be better.
And someone in the comments said, when did Caden have a bad game? I don't think he did either. So good point.
I don't think anybody's ever even said that up here, that Caden had a bad game. You know what I'm saying?
But by saying Shador never had a good game, I could have been insinuating that Caden did. He definitely didn't play as good as he's capable of against Georgia Tech, and then he obviously did nothing wrong in the Delaware game, except for maybe not take off once when he could have.
Yeah.
Super chat from Chris Fleming says, Scotty, you my guy, but you're really acting like you didn't sit up there and say you believe Staub gave the team their best chance to win. You really said that. Now you throw him under the bus.
When have I sat up here and thrown Ryan Staub under the bus, Chris? Like, this is a whole complete team failure tonight.
Yes.
And, again, if you watched Delaware last week and didn't think that Ryan Staub played the best, looked the best, not just in that game, but this season through 2 weeks at that point, then I don't really know what you were watching. I get Caden didn't do anything to lose the job. We have all said that multiple times.
Before this game happened, by the way.
But, nobody is abstaining Staub from any of the blame tonight because, as I said out the gate, he wasn't very good tonight. And anybody who watched that game knows that. Mm-hmm. But, again, this is the third week in a row we are talking about subpar quarterback play. So it's not a Caden Solitaire situation, a Ryan Staub situation. What's the common denominator here? We know.
We spent 50 minutes earlier talking about it. Shout out Chris, though. Appreciate you, man.
Gentra Jackson says, other than coaching improvements, sorry to say, but having Rudies are cool, but the program needs to get more talented dogs. Better recruiting, more money, better relationship building, something. ML Burwell, our players are tough. Tough enough, good enough. They do not suck. The coaching sucks. Basic play calling, formation, strategy sucks. Leadership does not put these players in a position to be successful. Zach Brookman says, why would a recruit come after that? WB
so much more at play than one game.
Thankfully, signing day isn't tomorrow either.
Yes.
WB3 says, slow outside foot speed, defense backs with poor technique, receivers, tight ends. They kept dropping passes, defense ends losing contain and tackling up by the shoulder pad. Not a good team at all. Cedric Pennington, I like Staub, but he should have never started the game. Salter did nothing to lose that spot.
New Mexico's about to beat the brakes off of UCLA.
UCLA is cooked, man.
So all the teams that lost tonight apparently are just having terrible starts this season. Colorado, K-State, and UCLA. Because holy cow.
Again,
all
it
three.
could be worse. Does that say 28-10 with 2 minutes left?
New Mexico's driving down the field. They're near the red zone, yes.
Bro,
That's at UCLA.
At the Rose Bowl.
In the Rose Bowl.
It can always be worse.
With a 5-star quarterback who you're paying
God
almost
knows
double
how
the
much.
guy who you had last year who's now balling out for Tennessee.
Oh, my God, bro. They're getting mopped by New Mexico at home.
Crazy, huh?
All 14 people in that stadium right now are probably pissed.
And they're not even,
Tarps are shaking in anger.
they're not even in a nice stadium to boot.
Super chat from DJ says, team needs a players only meeting and they need to speak up as a unit and collectively call out the coaching staff privately. It has to be a player-led team.
That is the last thing you want, trust me.
Pennies on the ground says Pat Shermer needs to be gone.
Facts.
Super chat from Prentice Murphy. Thank you very much. Crash out or cash out says people are delusional if they think Salter missed enough plays to be benched. Another one from Prentice Murphy says Salter started, Staub started, give Juju a start.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
$9.99 super chat from Cam M. Thank you.
Shout
And
out Cam.
Another one from
Hey,
Gentra.
nice play on special teams by Cam tonight.
Gentra says, hope CP considers calling a buddy who's been a successful college coach who respects him to give some advice on how to move forward. Saban Myers, question mark?
Yeah, and I mean,
Sure.
I think it's fair to discuss the fact that Coach Prime has never had a quarterback situation on his hands.
True.
You know, and so this is kind of a first time for him.
Yeah, he's in uncharted waters himself.
Yes,
totally.
Exactly. And hopefully at some point we come out of that on the other side of this with a quarterback. But this is not a situation that he has experience with, despite the fact that he is an experienced coach.
Yep.
Zach Brookman with the super chat says, sorry for crashing out in your DMs, RK and Jake. Ha.
Haven't seen it yet, so
Not the first one, brother.
Yeah.
Or the last.
No.
Tom Carlson Jr. Carlson says, CU hype is dead. They're flat out bad. DEFCON 1 football. Soft lines, no discipline, no fight. Prem's brand can't cover this mess. Existential moment is right. I have hope, but it's fading quickly. Love the mariachi tonight. Katwana says, this is all about coaching. How does Salter ever trust CP after the past 2 games? Cam M with another super chat, was behind the bench and I've never seen anyone with more Dan Lanning is DMing me energy than 77. Chris Fleming with another super chat says, anyone who thought Staub was ready to start over approving QB1 is simply, I'm not sure what that is. This decision set the team back going into week 4. Old Dirty Lou with the $99 super chat.
Hey,
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
He said,
Watch him
tough
just
night,
roast
fellas.
the shit out of us.
I know. Your fault.
Tough night, fellas. Drinks on me. I hate to call people
Appreciate
out,
you.
but coaching looks shaky.
Thank you so much for that
Appreciate
super
you,
chat.
man. Thank you.
I'm probably taking it for Taco Bell, though.
Chris Fleming said, I never said Staub was the problem. Love Staub as a person and a teammate. I said the decision to start him was the problem. That was not logical.
You know, I kind of think it was like a hot hand theory type of thing.
I think so.
Where
That
they
word's been used a lot with this team.
and I think that it goes to the point that we've been talking about how this team doesn't have an identity or a rudder right now. And so looking back on it now, I think Coach Prime was just like, maybe this could work.
Looking for answer.
Let him
Use
This guy.
just, see if he stays
This guy
hot
for
hand.
sure.
Like, can we catch a wave right here? And so I again think it had very little to do with Caden Salter.
It's very easy to sit here after what we just witnessed tonight and be like, that was the wrong decision. They handled it wrong. Should have never been stopped.
Right.
Very easy to do that. So shout out to all y'all who were saying that. Y'all are super smart.
Another super chat from Cam M, $20 says, I'm not going to read that one. Big Tools
Thanks.
263, that Shooter jersey retirement is being validated.
I told everyone when everyone was bitching about him, you are going to miss this man a lot.
But he took sacks.
the greatest.
And not everyone was bitching about him, but all the people who were bitching about him.
the greatest quarterback in program history. Usually, that warrants some accolades.
Facts.
Don Peasy with the super chat says, good news, it is early in the season that there is still light at the end of the tunnel. Bad news, the light is starting to look like a train.
Whoa.
Shout out. Hey, that's
well written.
a Metallica lyric.
Oh,
No leaf clover.
wow.
Don Peasy. I don't know if that's what you're referencing, but
Katwana again says, DNVR, you guys were the main ones pushing the Staub as QB1 stuff. Shrek BBL 420. In what world is Juju not redshirting and transferring?
I don't think that's happening for what it's worth.
Tom Jr. Carlson, for some levity, at least we get to go home to Colorado and not Nebraska.
Facts.
Always it will suck to be a CSU Ram. Chuck Jackson with the super chat says, again for the people in the back, no jet sweeps with Q for 6 Draylon, X and Sincere's nasty work.
Great way to get the ball into the hands of playmakers other than a bubble screen. I saw Houston do it tonight.
This is fresh, says Arden Walker, no show again. See you too small at DEE. Another super chat from Don Peasy says, RK is right. You can point anywhere and find blame.
Yes.
With that, Pat Shermer needs to be a team player and relieve himself of play calling duties. On to Wyoming.
good super chat. Thank you for that.
No, I don't even want it. I don't want it that way. Someone make a decision.
Another one from Cam M says, listen every day and love y'all. Negativity before is frustration with the team. Sorry for hating.
Bro, New Mexico's running up the score on UCLA
Bro.
in their house.
Look, this coach is different. I noticed it in the Michigan game. He was just going for stuff. I mean, he knew it was like, look, we're playing in front of the whole nation here. Why wouldn't we go for this 4th down? This guy's got some balls.
They could have kneeled that out, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
That's
why do that?
Crazy.
Send
Why
a
do
message.
that?
Wow.
Super chat from Aloha Buff said, sad day for Buff Nation. The tripod rocks. I appreciate you, Jake, SCP, and RK. Hope to make it back to Boulder for another game soon. Mahalo.
Appreciate you, Dean. Thank
Mahalo.
you, bro.
B. Schwavy says, saw the signs versus Delaware, and you all said 7 points. Super chat from Chris
I
Fleming.
said, why does everyone always say y'all? Like we all have one brain. I said 7 points. Was I wrong?
And guess what?
It's a fact.
Delaware still hasn't scored more points, brother.
They sure haven't.
Chris with another super chat says, nobody's blaming y'all, just giving Scotty a hard time because he was glazing Staub so hard last weekend. Don't be sensitive, Scotty. Stand on business.
Next time we'll just hate on all the players
Yeah,
instead, actually.
Himmy Horn Esquire
Thanks for the
says,
super
do you
chat.
believe in the 25-26 curse of Ralphie? The mystique is gone until she returns.
Maybe.
I do believe in that. I need something to believe in.
Facts.
RJ Baldwin with the super chat says, today wasn't a QB issue. Today was a defense issue. D could not getting off the field at all in the third of quarter. Houston had a 10-minute drive. The D was the issue today. Time of possession was an issue, not the QB.
Today,
Time of possession
The
was
worst-
an issue because the offense couldn't stay on the freaking field.
and the defense couldn't get off of it. Today was a football team issue. That's the scary part.
$20 super chat from DeFeo Boutique says, 24 hours, tough game. Thanks for a great day. Travel safe.
DeFeo Boutique,
great
a
meeting you, bro,
real
Unreal.
one.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
RC, Dion, and I sat the whole game with DeFeo Boutique. He treated us
What a
to
guy.
tickets, and we had an absolute blast. It was great talking ball with him. I wish there was more fun plays to
Yeah,
talk about with
for
him,
sure.
but we had a good time.
Shout out to
thank
everybody.
you, DeFeo Boutique.
We met at the Buffs Bash today. It was a
Facts.
vibe.
I mean, going back to Jake's point, like the vibe before the game, everyone we were talking to at the Buffs Bash,
Undefeated.
that was the best Buffs Bash I've ever been to by far.
100%.
Yeah.
Super chat from Cooper. Staub is a cool story and lucky, but I think Salter is better. Let's roll with him and gel into an identity. Shout out to Byard and McPherson.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat.
Sure glad we have a podcast 5 days a week to talk about what the hell they're going to do at quarterback this week and react to whatever decision they do make.
Yeah. And,
Jay Beeman.
Never mind.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Jay Beeman says, thanks for all you guys do. And Jake, you were right. Super chat from Laura Levy says, I guess that's
I was right.
At one point you were. It's that flippy floppy Jake.
Y'all don't want to hear it. I said it on enough shows this summer. I mean, Houston's building something. Whatever.
Super chat from
They got themselves
whatever.
I know whatever.
It's been a minute.
Let's go.
Laura Levy
Highlight.
says, I guess the SCO wasn't
Shout out,
upped
Laura.
enough. Prime has big decisions to make, but we will get through this.
Facts. Appreciate
You're
you.
damn
Laura.
right. I've been through much worse.
Yeah. Honor the family with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you. A Band of Brothers says Staub's best play came off busted coverages. 2 of those. Thank
All of our
you.
best plays are
I mean,
something breaking.
Jordan Palmer literally told y'all that's the most OP play in football.
It is. It's a great point.
It's facts, too.
DH Kobe says if they don't practice a scramble drill for wide receivers and pursuit drill for linebackers, we will never win.
If you don't think they're practicing that stuff,
Yeah.
Chuck Jackson says, y'all chill, man. It ain't the pod's fault. Content is content. They got to talk about what happens with the team. That's why we watch, man.
thank you.
Thank you. That was a
Who said that?
Refund that.
Chuck Jackson.
Chuck.
He knows ball.
Yeah, I will refund you that. super chat, bro.
Send it back at double.
Wow. Some nuance.
Tony Montana says, I'm a Browns fan and I never want to hear y'all question my organization, how to handle Coobies when y'all houses
Nope.
is on fire.
Brother.
There's no chance we're doing that.
Holy.
That's wild.
That's so funny.
Zach Brookman says, wife said his shirt is cool. RK shirt saves the day.
Thank you. Got a shirt compliment, a hat compliment.
That boy
You
jerked
guys are
down.
taking care of me.
Crash out or
Someone
cash
was-
out?
Someone had a hilarious response to one of RC's videos about my fit. They're like, damn, RK went to Houston and got some flavor.
Crash out or cash out says, called the stop situation with super chats earlier in the week. Checked my receipts. Knew it was going to go badly. Also called 2 picks on my X account earlier this week.
Good call.
Super chat from Chris Fleming says, Scott, I said it last weekend when I was watching you talk about how much you were glazing him for QB1. Kev 216.
Is that Chris again?
Just forget about it.
That boy doing too much.
Kev 216 MLB with the super chat. Thank you. Big Tool says, I remember last season the team had a leadership camp. Who was the voice like that? Who's the voice like Shador?
Seton.
Clearly.
Yeah.
B. Schwavy says, O is gone, Juju is gone, IMG boys are gone, Portal will be booming, 800 yards in 2 games, but at least we held the FCS Delaware to 7 points.
Oh, say something more negative.
It's week 3. Got a whole season.
Okay, that was it.
Oh, wow.
Hurry.
That
Close the
went by a lot
laptop.
faster.
We're out of here.
Well done.
Just all right. Looks like we're not getting Unk, unfortunately. I do have something to say. I'm sorry. If another super chat comes in, you guys, I'll just handle it myself. You guys can all start packing up. This is week 3. Mm-hmm. This football team doesn't have to be this football team that we saw out here tonight the rest of the season. It is very early. There are a lot of very talented players on this football team. I know right now it feels like the sky is falling. Last year against Nebraska, it also felt like the sky is falling.
Yep. Very
That
much
team
so.
was able to turn it around. This is a look yourself in the mirror moment, figure out who you are, make a decision about what direction you're going in, and trudge through it without letting anything stop you. It is out there for this roster. I believe that. But there needs to be some really hard conversations, some really serious moves made, and a direction chosen immediately. And this team can get out of this. It's not over. The season's not over. It's actually just getting started.
Yeah,
Well
I
said.
agree. I mean, look, nothing's changed. I think the Big 12's still wide open.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of teams who are in contention to win it, and last year showed you that ASU can come out of nowhere and have a hell of a run in October, November, and really surprise some people and make a lot of noise in college football. So, look, emotions are running high, man. We'll all feel better a couple days removed, as we always do. We'll talk about it again on Monday, for a little bit at least. So.
Just real quickly, while I agree
yeah,
that the
go
Big
for it.
12 is wide open, none of that matters if this team doesn't get right.
No,
you know,
they gotta be a completely different football team.
Change has to be made.
Yes.
Like drastic. It's not just little on the margins here, a little change here, a little difference here. Like, no, there has to be like sweeping changes. And, you know, if we know anything about Coach Prime, is that he's not afraid to make those. And this is the time.
Coach Prime needs to find a way to make this team believe.
Yeah.
And if anyone can do it, it's him.
Totally. All right. Yeah, we'll be back in some form or fashion on Monday for at least a little bit. But, yeah, obviously game next week is on Saturday, so back to normal schedule Tuesday through Saturday. Yeah, shout out to everyone, honestly, who we saw, hung
Yes.
out with.
Houston was a
King
vibe,
Motivator for just being the fucking GOAT.
Shout out our guy, CA, Craig Alexander,
I mean,
taking care of us, too.
Totally.
Houston legend.
Too many
Still.
people to thank, honestly. I mean, Houston, you treated us way too well. That was so much fun.
We
so.
cannot wait to come back.
Totally. All right, chat. Yeah, be kind. Relax. We'll see y'all Tuesday or Monday. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go, Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.